What's up, Headless Horde, and welcome back to the channel. Before I get started with today's video, if you could smash the like button and click the subscribe button, it would help out this channel immensely. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of April so I can live stream from ICCCon in Nashville. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about where Disney Star Wars is headed. With what we saw in the last couple episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, it made me start thinking of what this plan is going to be. In 2018, Dave Filoni stated he did not see the World Between Worlds as a way to retcon any content or to erase or change anything in the current canon. Then after seeing Grogu choose the Mandalorian armor in Episode 7, I would say it's pretty clear that we are now headed to the sequel trilogy. Moving forward with the Mandoverse, I say we have a decent chance to see Luke train Grogu at some point. But like mentioned in The Last Jedi, Ben Solo was Luke's first student, and having Grogu go back to Mando is the closest thing we have to a confirmation of moving forward to the sequels. In Mando Season 2, Episode 4, on an Imperial base on the far side of Navarro, we see Moff Gideon is carrying out a bizarre experiment, which seems to do something with cloning. In the large tanks in the episode, we see figures that look a little like Snoke. Gideon is seen watching a hologram message from Dr. Pershing, in which he states there is a need for a high M count, and that they were only able to take so much from the child, aka Grogu. So what does this mean? Well, if there are creatures in the tanks, and indeed they're Snoke clones, this could be where Palpatine has begun his production, like we see in The Rise of Skywalker. Remember, it is canon that Emperor Palpatine is working behind the scenes now to create vessels so he may live forever. It is possible he needed midichlorians to aid in the development of these clone bodies. So the M Pershing was speaking of was obviously midichlorians. It has been rumored that Grogu has the highest count of midichlorians to date, even higher than Anakin Skywalker. Grogu is a cash cow now for Disney. He is the most well-known character, and sales back this up. People who don't watch Star Wars know who Baby Yoda is. In my eyes, Grogu will be the most important character moving forward. The hope is we will be able to see more interactions between Luke and Grogu. I believe they are in the process of giving us the Luke Skywalker we have all wanted to see post Return of the Jedi. It is no secret that the sequels did Luke dirty. But unfortunately, and this is one of those hardest pills to swallow for us fans, but knowing that we are headed toward a depressed and somewhat negative Luke is quite angering. But hopefully we will get a lot of content that shows off Luke as the greatest Jedi, and at least move the story forward and help explain much better why he comes off as a get off my lawn type old hermit. If the rumors floating out around the interwebs is accurate, and Grogu will become the next Mandalorian Jedi, we should be able to get much more Luke. Plus, how great would it be to get Luke, Ahsoka, Ezra, and maybe even Cal Kestis all together? Talk about epic. Speaking of Grogu becoming the second ever Mandalorian Jedi, joining Tarviza, the original owner of the Darksaber, some people have been theorizing that the show's title, The Mandalorian, is actually referring to Grogu. I am beginning to lean this way myself, especially if you begin to look at all the clues we have been getting. By Grogu coming back to Mando, we know he will be back in Mandalorian Season 3, because he had to come back. The show is actually about him. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and how you feel about that theory. As far as the future of Star Wars past the sequel trilogy, it was reported a few days ago by Giant Freaking Robot that Daisy Ridley has signed on for 3 new Star Wars projects. It is currently unknown what the projects are. If she indeed is willing to wield her yellow lightsaber once again in a galaxy far, far away, and continue her story, one can imagine that it would be post-sequel trilogy. So let's speculate for a moment on this report. Personally, I love the character of Rey. I thought The Force Awakens had done a very solid job setting up a mysterious story involving her without giving too much away. When The Force Awakens released in theaters, content creators were going crazy trying to figure out all the answers to the questions that were proposed. Who were her parents? Why did she fight with the lightsaber so well, with little training? Why did Anakin and Luke's lightsaber call to her? Plus many other questions. It is very unfortunate that her character became quite dull by the final installment of the trilogy. I would love to see her return and take on the challenge training Grogu in a brand new trilogy. I think if done correctly, it could really expand on what we currently know of Rey, which honestly is not really a whole lot, and move Grogu forward into the future as he becomes more powerful. Obviously, there would need to become a new threat, and maybe Rey uses the Jedi text to begin a new Jedi Academy. I think the most important thing is consistency. The first 6 films worked so well because George Lucas was the firm staple of it all. If you know there are going to be 3 movies, then plan for it. It's quite obvious that Disney had no idea where they wanted to take the sequels. A perfect example of this is James Cameron and how he is filming the next 4 Avatar movies together. I really wish Star Wars would plan the next trilogy like this. This way it will actually have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This would allow it to have the same feel to it. When I watch the sequel trilogy, I feel like I'm watching 3 different movies from 3 different universes, and the only thing that links them together are character names. When C-3PO says, "Taking one last look, sir, at my friends," I want to feel that emotion. Not roll my eyes and think, "Bro, you have known them for a few days and have barely spoken to half of them." In conclusion, I still want them to retcon the sequels mostly because of the way they portrayed Luke. I know it sounds silly to say a fictional movie character was my hero or gave me inspiration, but when I was growing up, whenever I saw Luke on TV, I knew that there was always hope in my own life. I knew there had to be good in the world that I barely knew as a child. I also knew that friendship and loyalty was a very important aspect of life. I am so honored to have grown up with Star Wars. Star Wars has given me a small voice on YouTube and in countless other conversations I have had when I have met actors, with friends, with strangers who share my passion. For this, I will always be grateful for the creation of George Lucas, and I'm just very happy that over 40 years later, we are still having conversations about Star Wars, whether it be about movies, TV, or toys. So what are your thoughts on the future of Star Wars? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy my content, please slap a like on this video, click that subscribe button, and I really appreciate all the support, and I will see you all in the next video. And don't forget, keep those heads on.